What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cab Show. We got the NBA playoffs right around the corner. I love it. I cannot wait. But do I like the play-in tournament game? No, absolutely not, dude. This isn't the March Madness. This isn't college. This is the pros. I don't like the play-in tournament. I get it. The 7th, 8th seed play each other. 9th, 10th seed play. But the 9th and 10th seed, they have to win 2 consecutive games to get into 7th or 8th seed. To whereas the 7th and 8th seed, all they have to do is just win 1 game out of the 2. And that's cool and all, but it's like, why? Why are we doing this? But for the 7th and 8th seed, they have 2 opportunities to win 1 game to earn that playoff spot. So it's for the Lakers and Golden State, which Golden State right now, they're in that 8th seed, right? Which is kind of scary. We look back and say, well, they do have Steph Curry. Okay, Steph Curry could go for 60 on any given night. So to me, am I concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers at the 8th seed or at the 7th seed? Excuse me, no, I'm not. I mean, they're about a game and a half behind the 6th seed. But look, dude, if the Lakers, if they end up coasting, they're still going to get into the playoffs, right? I'm saying the tournament playing game, but it's like, at this point, it's like, really? What is the NBA doing? I don't agree with it whatsoever, bro. It's just like, what's the point of it? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Meaning, look, back, the old school all the way up to 2000s, 1 through 8 seeds get in. To me, it wasn't, 7th and 8th seed have to play with the 9th and 10th. It's like, come on. I don't get that at all. I don't understand what the NBA's doing. There's some backslash with the NBA stars out there that are, voicing their opinions on this matter. I mean, I don't know. I think, they're just trying to change it up because, society's changing. But I just think, the 7th and 8th seed, they should stay there. The 8th seed should play the 1 seed. I don't think we should let the 9 and 10 get in. If that's the case, for college football, they should open up more. It shouldn't be the top 4. It should be the top 10 in that case if we're talking about playoff-wise. But am I concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers? No. Absolutely not. I think the Lakers, look, they're still my team to repeat. I'm betting on the best player in the world, and that's LeBron James. And I understand he's been battling injuries this year. Really, his first time in his career to where we go back to the Miami Heat where he was injured a couple weeks or maybe missed a month at max when his time with Miami. But look, I'm not worried about it. LeBron James did say and come out and said, look, I'm not going to be 100% for probably the rest of my career. And a lot of people backslash LeBron. It's crazy because whatever LeBron says out in the media, people are going to either agree with it or disagree with it. More times than not, they're going to disagree with LeBron James. That's just that. And to me, it's crazy. He's probably being real with his body, knowing his body, saying, look, I've been in the league almost 20 years now, and I understand my body. My body's kind of breaking down in a way. But LeBron James, he has the best trainers, the best diet, treats his body nice. But I just think him through time realizing, look, in the next 5 years, I'm not going to be the same LeBron James that I used to be, right? I'm not going to be able to get to the cup whenever I want. I might be wrong in 5 years. It might be 10 years down the line, but eventually that time is coming for LeBron James where he is going to start to slow down. Is he slowing down now? Maybe a little bit athletic-wise, but, IQ of the game, he's getting better. His shot is getting better. So to me, I think LeBron James still has a lot to go. He really does. He's still in his prime, and I'm still taking the Los Angeles Lakers to win the NBA 2021 title back to back. I think they're going to three-peat just like they did with Kobe and Shaq back in the early 2000s. 2000, 2001, and 2002, a three-peat. So to me, I love that. I think LeBron James has the capability, and if everybody stays healthy, like Anthony Davis, if he stays healthy throughout the to the playoffs, I think they'll be fine with that. Am I concerned who's coming out in the East is probably going to be the Brooklyn Nets. I understand James Harden and Durant's been battling injuries as well. But I just think dealing with the Nets, we have to understand something is their chemistry to me. They haven't played, a full season together. I just think, a lot of stuff's going to really open up in the playoffs, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play. Who's going to take the game-winning shot? Who's going to take the most shots? Is it going to be Harden? Is it going to be Durant or Kyrie? Who's going to want the game-winning shot? That's really what it's going to boil down to win a championship, right? I mean, you got to go through LeBron. They're the team to be in it, even if LeBron does get a 7th seed in there. I bet he wins the play-in tournament. I'm betting on that. I'm betting on LeBron to me, if I'm still the coach, I'm still resting LeBron to the playoffs. You know, we have to understand LeBron's played so many minutes in the NBA. It's ridiculous, dude, at this point. You know, LeBron James, he has the most NBA Finals triple-doubles. 11 NBA Final triple-doubles in the NBA Finals. That's crazy. But I also wanted to give a shout out to Russell Westbrook, you know, passing Oscar Robertson, become the all-time NBA leader in triple-doubles with 182. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. You know, I understand Russell Westbrook, a heck of a player, you know, plays with heart every day, game in and game out. That's what I love most about Russell Westbrook, is his ability to never give up and his ability to put 100% into it. Russell Westbrook is one of the cats that could play back in the 70s and 80s, and we don't see many cats in today's society being able to play back in the day, and Russell Westbrook is one of those guys. You know, for instance, Draymond Green, another one of those guys. But to me, Russell Westbrook, is he ever going to win an NBA championship? I don't think so. I even said with James Harden as a starter, these two, I don't think they're going to win an NBA championship unless they team up with the GOAT of our generation right now. Not the greatest of all time, you know, better than MJ, but I'm saying for LeBron, people who want to team up with LeBron, they're going to win. And to me, that's why I don't understand Kyrie's situation. Why would Kyrie want to leave LeBron when they won in 2016 when they were definitely heavy underdogs in that NBA Finals, coming back to 3-1? I don't get it. You know, and to me, I love Kyrie. He has the best handles in the league right now, him and CP3. But I just think, you know, with Kyrie, his mental aspect of the game right now, we have to understand, I just don't think he's in the game mentally. I really don't. I don't know what he's thinking about, but I really think in 5 years from now, I could see, you know, Kyrie being out of the league. Not because he's good enough, because he's not mentally there. He's not mentally there, so that's going to be interesting to see what the Nets are going to bring, you know, coming into this. But what about the Warriors and Steph? Look, I think the Warriors and Steph, they're going to get in as well. And when they get into the playoffs, it's very dangerous. Obviously, you know, Klay Thompson is out yet again, back-to-back years. Really sad, but to me, dude, I'm telling you what, Steph Curry can take over a game. They might not win the NBA Finals this year, but they are going to win some games against good competition. They could beat Dallas here and there in a 7-game series. Probably not the whole 7-game series, but they'd win a couple games. But it's just like, dude, having Steph Curry in the playoffs is great for the NBA. Having LeBron James come back is great for the NBA, dude. This is great. It really is. But to me, am I like the play-in tournament? Absolutely not. I don't know why the NBA is doing this. I really don't. I don't know what the gist of it is. To me, it's crazy. It really is. But, you know, for the Lakers and Warriors, I do think both these teams will get in. You know, obviously the Lakers need to win one game in this play-in tournament to get into the playoffs. And LeBron James knows what's going on right here. He knows another title's at stake. He knows the history. LeBron understands if he wins again this year, he's got 5 rings, tied with Tim Duncan, tied with Kobe Bryant. Okay, so to me, this is a huge year for LeBron. If LeBron ends up coming out on top yet again, which I do think it can happen, very possible, you know, anything's possible with LeBron. You know, let's fast forward to 2016 in the NBA Finals down 3-1, where everybody counted out the Cavaliers, except LeBron James and that team. They didn't count each other out, you know, whereas a lot of the media, the sports bettors were saying, you know, Warriors, you know, even if they don't win a Game 5, Game 6, they're going to win, or Game 7. You know, I think that was really the most pressure LeBron's been under, was in 2016. And he made that block on Iguodala. Obviously, Kyrie hit a big 3 on Steph. But to me, it all adds up. And I think LeBron James, we just really question his greatness here. We really do. You know, LeBron James doesn't need to win MVP. Obviously, if we're talking about, you know, the best player in the NBA, LeBron James would win MVP every year. We have to understand that. LeBron James is the best player on the planet. He's a better passer, scorer. You know, he makes his teammates better. And that's one of the most valuable things about LeBron. He makes his teammates better. A lot of great players in the league right now, they don't make their teammates better. Well, yeah, they could score 50 on a given night. I mean, dude, it's the NBA in 2021. And, really, anyone could drop a 50 ball. Okay? Anybody could drop a 50 ball on a blue moon. You know, like, for real. I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, that's where we're going with the NBA. You know, more people are shooting threes than they were 10, 20 years ago. Okay? It's just more common now. I want players to be able to drop 50, add 10 assists, you know, make their teammates better. You know, and that just, you know, seriously, Make them better. That's what I like about that, and that's why LeBron James is the best player right now. Hands down, he's better than Durant. We could say Durant's a better scorer. Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, nowadays, everybody can score in the NBA, okay? Like, so, what's your identity of that? But I think going into the playoffs is going to be interesting to see coming out East. It's going to be interesting to see what the Miami Heat do. We saw last year they made that playoff run into the finals against the Lakers, with Jimmy Butler, those guys, Tyler Hero. But, a lot of slumps this year, right, that haven't really played well. But to make up for it, the playoffs is a completely different game. It really is in the regular season. That's why I love it. But to me, it amazes me right now that the Lakers are in this spot. It really does. They're the 7th seed. I thought the Lakers would coast into the 4 or 5 seed. Not worry about the play-in tournament. But right now, they got to. Because the Trailblazers, they're probably going to clinch that 6th seed. Yeah, and to me, really, Damian Lillard, another top point guard in the league, most underrated point guard in the league, in my opinion. But there's just so much talent, right? But I just think, when we go through all the nonsense, I think it's going to be the Lakers and probably the Nets. Who knows? It might be somebody else coming out East. I just think the Nets, they need to get the chemistry right. They need to get everything right about themselves. They need to understand themselves, their identity of the Brooklyn Nets. Who are they? Are they just a team that scores, or do they play good defense as well? I think Steve Nash has a big task coming into this playoffs. No doubt about it. But to me, for the NBA, I don't understand it. I don't know why they would do the play-in tournament. It makes no sense. But like I said from the beginning of the season, since the Lakers won in 2020, I said, look, repeat. I'm telling you, Los Angeles Lakers repeat. They got Andre Drummond. Anthony Davis is coming back. They got people off the bench. That can wet threes, that can really stay well. But my whole thing, the X factor is definitely Kyle Kuzma for the Lakers. To me, he's very, very iffy to me. Well, some nights he's nice, and then other nights it's like, dude, he's the guy playing, in the YMCA league who can't really even do much. To me, I don't know what it is. Kyle Kuzma, I don't think he will be a Los Angeles Laker this time next year unless something happens in the playoffs where he does show out and ball out, maybe averages about 15 to 20 points a game, somewhere in that realm. But to me, it's just, I don't know about Kyle Kuzma. I really don't. And yes, the Lakers, they do have weaknesses, and I do think, it's their bench. How deep are the Lakers? Are they super deep? Seriously. I think, this offseason is going to be interesting, but I do. You guys mark my word. I got LeBron James. I'm betting on the Lakers to repeat. I got to. I'm betting on the best player in the NBA. I mean, it's like betting on Tom Brady, right, in Tampa Bay over Kansas City. We're betting on the best quarterback to win, period. That's that. And obviously, the Tampa Bay had a great defense, but you get what I'm saying. Same thing with LeBron James. We're betting on the best player, and that's the Lakers and LeBron James to win it all yet again, a repeat. That's what I like about it. Seriously, but I think this offseason, let's say the Lakers get a crazy piece. They add Steph Curry. It's over. It's over for the league right now. If Steph Curry and LeBron James play on the same team, I mean, seriously, the same team. The same team. It's over, dude. It is completely over. You guys can mark my words that if Steph Curry really goes to Los Angeles this year, dude, it's over. But I wouldn't be surprised if Steph Curry says, you know what, I want to sign a lifetime deal, another 10-year deal, whatever, with the Golden State Warriors. I wouldn't be surprised with that because he got drafted by him, I believe, in 2009. Somewhere around that time. So, to me, I wouldn't be surprised with Steph Curry, what he's done there. Won 3 championships with Golden State. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he does stay. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he does team up with LeBron James. We're seeing it now. And I will say, yes, LeBron James did the movement when he went to the Miami Heat in 2010. Then we saw KD, go from OKC to the Warriors, then to Brooklyn. Just so much has changed, right, in the past decade in the NBA. So many different places. Russell Westbrook's bouncing around teams. Same thing with James Harden. It's crazy. It's not like it used to be, right? Where we see MJ back in the day, he would have never went to play with Magic. He would have laughed. He would have laughed at you guys. He would have never went to play with Larry Bird. MJ, that's why he's the GOAT. He stayed on the same team. I mean, it's crazy. Obviously, yes, he went to the Washington Wizards. This was way after his prime. And MJ knows that and understands that. But, it's not like it used to be where people are teaming up. It's not. Has that hurt the NBA a little bit in a way? I think it has. I really do. I think, nowadays it's more like, all right, let's get a super team and let's just win a championship. We really don't care about, let's start from scratch, right? Let's create our own team, kind of like the Warriors did with Steph Curry. Let's draft these players, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, just create a dynasty, right? That's what I like about that, but I mean, you could say I'm a hater on joining, super teams, but I don't really necessarily agree with it. I just think the GOATs like MJ, Magic and Bird, those type of guys, they never would have left to join, their friend. MJ and Magic would have, Magic and Bird never would have played together. You know what I'm saying? They would have never thought to play together. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's the difference. But I think, different era, different society right now. But I do think, I'm betting on the best player in the world, and that's LeBron James. And yes, I get it. The play-in tournament, they got to win one game. They get 2 opportunities. Even if they do lose against the Warriors in one game, that's fine. They still have another opportunity to get that 8 seed. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the Lakers at all. And a lot of people are like, how, Cap? The way they're playing now, their chemistry, they look like shit. They're just off right now. I get that. Playoff time is around the corner, and it's right around the time where LeBron James is coming back. And I do think they brought him back a little too early, last week or a couple weeks ago. I just think, with LeBron, his minutes in the game, he deserves to get a month or 2 break. He really does. He's LeBron, dude, after all. So to me, he deserves that. So LeBron James coming into this playoffs, he understands what's at stake. He understands that, hey, if we do win again, this is my 5th title. I tie Kobe, MJ, not MJ, excuse me. I tie Kobe and Tim Duncan. Obviously MJ has 6. But to me, it's just, this is a huge, huge year for LeBron. Now, if the Lakers do end up losing, it's definitely a failed year for LeBron and the Lakers. No doubt about it. From winning last year to this year. So to me, I'm going all in on LeBron, the best player in the NBA, baby. It's the NBA. It's 2021. It's the Cloud with Cap show. Let's go!